you have it all now. You have the data, you have the sequence, you have the structure, you have the content, you have the objective, you have the solutions and the decision. So all the meat, the content is available at your disposal now. However, it is very important and very critical to actually put that content into the right structure, into the right flow. That is important from the academic perspective and from the readability perspective as well. Okay, so now you have the data, what content you have to add into the introduction, how you have to put the sections to the case. So it's very important, which comes to our last prerequisite. That's what we call the flow and the structure. How exactly you have to write the case. So if I give you a general example to it, which has actually been followed by a lot of universities in Pakistan as well, and as well as in if we take inspiration from Harvard Business Review, the institution which has actually been a source of a lot of other institutions for their skill development as well. So if you see the structure of a Harvard Business Review case, or how exactly it will going to be. So there is a header, there is a logo, there is a header in the bottom. At the bottom, you will going to find the page number. It's very important, guys, that you put your case into the right fashion, because if the form is not appropriate, it will going to eat out the content, the work that you have assembled with a lot of effort. So let me just give you a generic direction to it, which is actually employed by a lot of other academic journals as well. And that's the right or the closest to the most applicable and the acceptable method of writing up the case. So if you actually, you can see the screen over here. If you actually see it, there is a logo and there is the name of an institution. I am a faculty at a number of institutions. Here I have taken an example of Institution of Business Management, IOBM. I'm a faculty over there. I teach the courses of marketing, and I also facilitate ELP project over there, which is Experiential Learning Program. So coming back to the case, if we actually see that, you will going to see there is a logo, there is a title, and then there is a box of acknowledgement. When we talk about box of acknowledgement, you have to acknowledge and thank those individuals who have helped you in writing up this case. All right. You thank them. Also, you have to give a little bit introduction about the author. So if you are the author, if two authors are there, so you need to give an introduction about both of them. It should be concise. Always remember, less is more. Less is more. More than merrier doesn't work all the time, especially when you're writing up the case. So less is more. Use this philosophy and not only writing up the case, but in also making your life better. Minimalism is the key, guys. Minimalism is the key. So less is more. Coming back over here, so it's an acknowledgement box, and if you see, there is also a scenario. Once you start the case, there's a scenario which I have also highlighted before as well. You need to carry forward that scenario, all right, and then you unfold the case. Then you unfold the story, all right. So when the scenario is done, you give a little bit introduction about the industry, about the macro perspective, about the economy, industry, and the company in which your case is operating. Give a little bit brief about the practices that you are going to highlight. So that will going to give an understanding to the reader what exactly this case is about it and what exactly this case is not about. All right. So that will also going to create convenience for the reader. Do that individual has to read it further or not? All right. And then you highlight the case, and then you substantiate your content along with the facts and figures that you have gathered. And always remember, guys, whenever you are quoting any numbers, always give the sources to it. If it's from any report, give a source to it. If it is from any manager, any executive, give a source. Always mention the source. Give a credit to the person, to the source from where you have inferred